You know Superhot, the flashy indie first-person shooter with a convoluted plot that takes game theory to understand, regardless of being a good story. Even getting a port to VR, which I'll never be able to experience. With only two games, this game has been able to create a fan base of many people and is regarded as one of the best first-person shooters ever, scoring an 84 on Metacritic. I mean, it's no Shadow of the Colossus, but I'll take it. And I guess a super hard mind control delayed, but that's not what I'm focusing on. Actually, we're not focusing on the main game either, as you can tell by the title. We're taking a look at the game's prototype that, unlike the full game, I have played. Yeah, when I was about to buy it in the Nintendo eShop, I opted to get Deltarune instead. I don't know if I made the right choice. Anyways, the prototype was very popular when it launched, and it got a lot of people to buy the full game. Although unlike the full game, I have experience with this game. You know how in school sometimes when you finish your work you're able to play games on your laptop and it was a million times better than simply playing it at home? Superhot Prototype was a game that me and my friends would play together during those breaks. The prototype is much less accessible because unlike the full game, it was never released on home consoles or on Steam. I bet there are some fans of the game that never heard about this part of Superhot. There's also a successor to the prototype called Time Shooter 2, one of the most generic names. However, I find this to be the superior game, and it's more in common with a full game and many more levels. Is this where we start? Alright, we start with the game already stuttering. I may be new to this review thing, but I know that isn't a good start. However, it is cool to see the red guy fly into the boxes in slow motion. I guess I should address the main gimmick of the game. Time only moves when you move. This is told to you by the text and the fact that the ceiling fans will give you a good concept on how it affects the gameplay. After some zigzagging between some boxes I cannot move because I am weak yet can take down agents in a single punch, we encounter a man in the hallway facing the other way. This guy is determined to stay there no matter what he hears behind him, which is good because of all the rumours I spread around about his diaper rash he has on his whole body. After that, there's two more enemies which are the only threats of this level, but the only problem is that these red guys have the same skill level as stormtroopers. However, there is a cool trick I like to do before you take down the first enemy. You can go through here and one of the enemies won't activate, and the one you're supposed to take down just runs away. At least that was better than what he did before. I tested if this was a good opening level by giving the keyboard to my brother, who I developed the system for. If he were able to get through the level within 3 tries and have no questions about the controls, and say that the game isn't dog water, then it's a good level. He was even able to find about this shooting bug where you cannot shoot unless you take a step. About that. This is a pace breaker. The bug is when you shoot and don't move, you won't be able to shoot again. It's not like in the actual game where you need to wait till the animation ends, you just need to move somewhere. This can lead to a few awkward moments in the game. Alright, on to the next level then. The deal is off. Who's saying that? If I'm saying that, they have a right to be angry, but if they're saying it, you just made a big mistake there. I'm guessing that this is a cafeteria for workplace. I like how the last level looked like the loading docks, but the guy behind the counter won't serve me a drink without ID. I've always wanted to be in a bar fight. Although keep this in mind, right behind you is a guy that'll try to get a cheap shot on you. This is the first level to have some hidden messages. If you do some certain things, it'll flash some text by. For example, if you shoot open a window, it says nice view for our last view, and if you go behind here, you'll get VIP room, and if you jump off a window, you get to start the level again. The level starts off with a gun right in front of you. Each gun has 4 bullets, and these are dropped by enemies. However, unlike most FPSs, they don't stack on top of each other. If you run out of bullets, you need to take one off of an enemy. Another thing that I like to bring up about this level is that the other than the 3 first enemies that spawn in, the other are up to RNG, so you can't really get a grip on this level's design. Another mechanic that is in this game that's also in the full game is throwing your weapon. By pressing R, you can throw your gun to trade it in for another one. This was a cool mechanic in the full game because it takes a while for your gun to be able to shoot another bullet, so you could throw it at another enemy, stunning them, enough to get another weapon or get a few hits in on the enemy. However, in this game it doesn't have any recoil, so it just bonks off them. The only reason to use this mechanic is if you're low on ammo and want to pick up another weapon. On to the next level. One look at this level and it looks like the most easiest level to design. I mean, it's just a straight hallway with enemies at the end and a gun in the middle. The developers even knew this because it's reused in the full game. It also has no hidden messages. I went on both ends of the hall and broke and looked outside every window. Nothing. The way the level wants you to do is to take your time where... oh, I died again. Well, only one way to do it now. Charge! It's not stupid if it works. Alright, honestly, because of the enemy's aim, it's possible to simply walk forward and grab the gun and win. Other times it can be tedious, but still fun. Also, if you miss the enemies twice, you need to go up way too close to take them down. There's also some pillars on the side, you can take cover there if you want. It's not essential and it's not something you want to do, considering that you can just head on like a badass. It's time for the hardest level in the game, also the last proper level. This level has 11 enemies and even has a counter tell you how many I was close to winning, but you got shot in the back by an enemy you couldn't see. One thing that's interesting about the hidden messages in this level is that there are 5 different hidden messages, and they all seem to be part of one sentence. The messages are: art is a visionary, art is fundamental, art is enlightening, social art, open your mind. If there was a secret about Superhot in this game, I'd think it would be in this level. It's in a museum! Other than that, there's not much to talk about. If I had some advice for the level is try to keep on the outer rim and make sure there's no enemies in the same lane as you. Also, prepare mentally, you're gonna die a lot. Alright now. Boss battle? I barely made it past the last level, now you're throwing me out a boss battle? Alright, come out with your hands up. What? Kill the CEO? What if I don't want to? Well, I'm stuck. If you hesitate to kill the CEO, the game makes fun of you and calls you a coward. And the game won't let you do anything until you do. And when you do it, damn it, for some reason the guy that tells you to dispose of yourself didn't came up. The ending's just a blank screen with the word Superhot being played over and over again. But if you click on the screen again, it tells you where you can find more info in the world of Superhot. The developer's Twitter. Well, back to the level, this place seems to be most professional made out of all the levels, but someone seems to really make a mess of it. This kind of makes me think that he was trying to make an escape. Probably would have been better than mine. One thing that annoys me is the game has no story elements. All that you know is that you're an agent that doesn't want to be discovered. I can give this game a hard pass because I guess what they were doing was leaving all story elements to the full game. But even then, it's completely different from the little context we get from this game, and the full game is very convoluted. So, why not go full out with this fake story? Why not give me determination? Make me go, you guys are gonna get your butt kicked by me. So, that was the game. As far as I'm aware, there aren't any hidden levels. I thought if you saw all the hidden messages in one playthrough, it would trigger something. But when I was getting footage for this video, and I did run through all of them, but there weren't any differences. I can't really talk about the game's performance since it's in an incomplete state, although I can say that it was a fun time. Even though I gave the third level and its mechanics a bit of criticism, it's still a good time to go through that level, use those mechanics. If you wanted a better Superhot experience, I recommend playing Time Shooter 2, even though the game replaces its set pieces for arena-type battles and has more generic name, its gameplay is much closer to the full game. Or you could just buy the full game. I'm not stopping you. I also believe that it wasn't created by the SUPERHOT team that made this prototype. I'm pretty sure it's made by Go team. Go Man. I'm pretty sure they've only done online Unity games. Also, before I get off this chair, I'd like to address something. There has been a specific person that has been commenting on every video asking me to do a game review for a game called Dark Souls 3? I just want to say, if this guy comments on this video, I just want to say that since he has such a fan of the trash game, I want everyone to spam on his comments and couple it with a Nova Strike. Well, time to see what society's up to.
Hey Flynn, guess what? What are you doing?
Don't mind me, keep going.